Hey, Zach.
Hey, Alex.
And welcome, everyone, to the Pokemon Power Podcast. Well, Zach, my good man, you're looking sharp. You got your nice hat on. What kind of hat is that?
This is representing the church I work for, the Gear, Claremont Emmanuel. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty hip for our
That's a cool
church
hat.
That's 80% people over 70.
I would have never assumed that was a church hat. I would have assumed that you got that from an outdoor hiking company.
Yeah, I mean, you can see from you got a little bird on there. I think maybe
I guess there's a C, and there's a C, and I should have assumed the C stood for church.
Church, church, everybody. That's the name of my church, guys.
That's what you guys are all about.
Church, everybody.
Zach, we've had an offline conversation. And I agree with you. Your offline comment to me was we tell people to like and subscribe too late. At that point, people are like, oh, the podcast is over. I'm going to turn it off. I guess there's nothing else I should do. And they don't think to like and subscribe. So we were like, we got to come up with something up front. So I came up with a like and subscribe jingle. I'm going to try it this week. We'll see if it works. OK,
I know it'll work for sure. There's no doubt.
I told you as well in another offline conversation, we have a guest next week, and I will not be doing this next week.
Okay, you keep saying offline. The listeners need to know, in the watchers, we don't talk outside of this. But you guys see our entire relationship.
That's true. That's true. Here. All right, here you go. You ready for this?
Do it.
Like them, subscribe them, and follow them. Leave a review. Hold on. I'm going to do it again. Okay. I want to get it out. I want the people to know.
Rewind. Edit. Let me edit this here. Okay, go ahead.
No, leave all this in. This is all gold. Like them, subscribe them, and follow them. Leave a review where you don't yell. Pokemon Power Podcast. It's good, right?
Yeah, it's good. That's good. I got to record it. I got to mix that, and that'll just.
Oh yeah, you could just play it, so that way I don't have to do it again. If you're a fan, we got a pretty clean record. Zach's not laughing in the background of my second try there. Please remix it. I would love if you make a remix. I'll play it on the show.
Yeah, that's the new thing. For all
I'm
of our
sincere.
Listeners.
If you're a listener, make a remix as long as it's clean, as long as you don't add swear words in between my words.
No swears.
No swears.
You guys know that already.
Keep that potty mouth out of Pokemon. Yeah. We only talk about dead family members. Zach, we always like to start the show with apology time. I don't know if we like to start the show that way. We start the show that way because we're frauds. We're failures. We make mistakes.
I was going to say we're honorable, but you went the negative route, which is fine. I was going to say we're honorable folks, so we apologize.
All right. Well, Zach, I'm going to need you to lean into the mic and repeat after me.
Got it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Giratina.
Giratina.
It's not Giratina. It's Giratina.
Is that what I said? The other week I said Giratina.
And you said it, and I thought it last episode. I was like, oh, is it Giratina? I don't know if I've ever not read it. So I just let you keep saying it. And then afterwards, I was so perturbed by you saying Giratina. Yeah. I went and I watched the trailer for the Giratina anime movie. And the narrator's like, Giratina. Well,
how do you know that he wasn't saying it wrong? That's just some actor somewhere. Right, come on.
I trust the movie trailer voice, Zach. And if you don't, we have a problem. And we will not settle it offline because we don't talk there.
I'm just saying, who do you trust? OK, you trust some guy somewhere or someone you know. And I looked at that card and it seems like that's the way I would pronounce it. And I did. And I'll be honest with you. And I'm going to pre-apologize. I will never say it a different way than however I say it, because I don't even know what it is. However I said it, that's probably how I'll keep saying it. So I'm sorry, but I will not change. Thank you.
So your apology is sorry, not sorry?
No. My apology is sorry. This is who I am. Accept me for who I am. And I am a person who says Giratina.
Church, everybody. Sorry, not sorry. This is who I am. Zach, normally I run the Icebreaker. You're going to run today's Icebreaker.
Yeah, I actually have been thinking about this a lot. And I wanted to break the ice with you specifically, Alex. No one else, just you.
Okay.
And listener, if you're just jumping in on this episode or watching, this is something we do. We keep it light here in the PokePowPod. And Icebreaker is this. In the realm of Pokemon, Alex, you're the expert, right? You know everything. The Poke Freak, as you might say.
I'm very unprepared and I do poorly in these situations, but please continue.
And so what I want you to be thinking about here is in Pokemon, we've got the type, characteristics, what do they do? And that's how we kind of define a Pokemon. Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do is throw you a real life ish character from our world, the real world. For listeners, we are in world 1 of the multi-universe here. And I'm going to give you that character and I want you to tell me what you think. And I'll interject if you're wrong about this thing that I'm making up.
By the way, you do at your church, you do start every service by saying this is world 1 of the multiverse.
Yeah. Well, just to be clear, I mean, now that we started doing a lot of live streaming because of COVID-19, we just make sure.
Is this why you gave me a hard time by calling out L. Ron Hubbard last week where you're like, no, that guy had some good ideas.
I mean, the multiverse guy, that's pretty much a proven fact at this point, but we don't have to get into that. This is PokePowPod. So you're going to be giving type, what just characteristics of what this character outside of Pokemon would be, what kind of Pokemon they're going to be. And I haven't developed a name for this little idea. So if you think of an idea that you're like, this is a great title for this, go ahead, run with it. Because I almost think
you could make it a recurring segment called Blank but Pokemon.
Okay. I love it. I'll think about that and I'll consider naming my segment that, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But here it is. Here is the blank that I'm going to give you right now. Whenever you're watching this, a current thing that happened just for us in real life is some new trailers released for the DC hero Batman, a new Batman movie coming out, and you say one more Batman, a different actor. Yes, in world 1 of the multiverse, we are having another Batman movie with a different Batman.
We're in the Batman universe.
This is Robert Pattinson this time around, but we're just going to go Batman, any version of Batman that you want.
Robert Paddington.
Robert Paddington
is that
the
something?
Bear. Robert Paddington the Bear. But this is what we're going to do. Let's hit this segment so we can get on to the real Pokemon game here.
Okay.
Batman, but a Pokemon.
Batman, but a Pokemon. Got to have flying type in there for sure.
Yep.
He has to have flying type. I think I'd toss in dark type. Obviously, I mean, I am Vengeance. I am the Knight. With no
movies named The Dark. Something.
The Dark Knight. I
mean, obviously.
So I think dark flying type.
Okay.
I think as far as characteristics, I think that if you were to talk about the category, as we like to talk about on this show, I think you got to go big bat type. Just big bat category. He's a big bat.
I thought you might have brought in our fellow lonely Pokemon and put him in there.
He could be the second lonely type. Yeah, it's the lonely category.
I mean, you've got the dead parents. Mm-hmm. You've got stares up at the sky, waiting for someone to put up a symbol for him in the air. It seems like him and Cubone have a lot in common.
That's
honestly.
true. That's true.
Cubone throws a little bone. He throws the batarang. He has a
batarang. Cubone has boomerang. That's his key move.
Is Batman just Cubone?
Cubat. Okay, Cubat's the name.
Okay, perfect.
You helped me come up with that. Thank you, buddy. I had no idea where I was going with the name there. Cubat.
You're welcome.
The dark flying type, and his Pokédex entry is Cubat does not like to fight until the Cubat signal is in the sky. And he can have
to play that move first. Like when to get him to attack, you have to play Night Signal, and then you have to play that one first, and then the next move he'll ever attack.
Night Signal, and then your opponent attacks, and then however much damage they do, Cubat does twice as much back than in the following turn. Mm-hmm. So you just get punished if you try and attack Cubat like that during his Night Signal, because he gets vengeance.
Oh yeah, he does. But I was thinking
vengeance.
Is it also a little bit of a Scyther, like false swipe deal where he can never actually like KO somebody?
False swipe, one of my favorite moves. It's great for catching Pokemon.
Right. And so with Cubat, he no move. He cannot go because that's Batman's thing, right? He can't kill anybody. He can't kill
anyone. He can't kill anyone, but he will let people die, which is very Pokemon.
Yeah, very Pokemon.
All right, I think we settled on anything you want to adjust with that Pokemon, with our Batman Pokemon Cubat.
Honestly, I'm excited for when tonight while you're working, you draw up this Pokemon.
I do.
For us
so this is my second thing.
On the Instagram.
I have two challenges for the listeners. If you're someone who edits music, if you like to produce music in your free time, please make a remix of the like and subscribe jingle. And if you are a person who likes to draw, send in your Pokemon picture of Cubat. I want to see Cubat. Remember, he's lonely, and he's very lonely. He's brooding. Yeah. All right, Zach.
Great.
All right, great segment. Good job. That's Zach ran the Icebreaker.
That's the Pokemon we were talking about today, right?
Where's Cubat rank?
Number one, baby.
Number one. He beats Snorlax. Coach Nishino, we're so sorry. What up, you dog?
What Pokemon do you have for me today, sir?
Well, we're gonna find out in one of our favorite segments. Gotta elucidate them all. I'm gonna pull up a picture of today's Pokemon. Zach, you're going to describe this Pokemon for the fans at home, and if they want, they can play along. Guess which Pokemon this is. Zach, are you ready for the game?
Always ready.
I'm calling it a game. I mean, it's kind of a game. And the way that life is a game.
I'm going to call it a sport because they barely exist anymore. I think it's one.
I feel like we'd be way more popular if this was a sport than a podcast. Get all those meatheads who are hungry for something to just watch our program.
You've been talking about what players are going to do. I mean, we've got this sport called Pokemon.
The PokePowPod Fantasy League. Who's going to win, Zach or Alex? Because this show will inevitably end with one of our deaths. All right. I'm going to bring the Pokemon up. You got 30 seconds. Ready, buddy? Let's go.
Here we go. All right. What I'm looking at here is definitely a bird. Okay. This thing is a bird. And can I say the bird that it looks most like?
Sure.
Is definitely I would say a sparrow.
Okay.
Something like that, or oh gosh, I'm just really slowing down. It's got bird feet. It looks like a bird. It's got an angry face that looks like a kind of got electrocuted. A little brown electrocuted head, just growling at your face.
I didn't give you the countdown. I apologize. You hit 30 and zero. Well, Zach, you gave us a great description there, but I gotta ask, who's that Pokemon?
I thought I had it for a second, and then I like it's like right in my mind, and then all I'm thinking of
Spearow. You're very close.
I know, and it's like is it like Spearow or something?
Spearow, yeah, no, you got it. Named after President Nixon's vice president, Spearow Agnew.
Oh, it's fine. We don't have to get political. We've already lasted so long without getting political so far.
I think we can avoid it today. Zach, Spearow has the category of the tiny bird Pokemon. So let me ask you this. Tiny bird Pokemon, how big do you think a Spearow would be to be considered tiny?
I mean, to be considered tiny, I would assume he's like the size, like in the palm of my hand, like a little, like I would picture like what are those, like little chickadees or something like that?
Okay.
Like thing. Okay. And for the listeners that can't see me holding up my hand, I'm talking about 2 inches, like now probably like 3.5 inches.
Okay. Well, Zach, I thought, I would definitely say smaller than it is. A Spearow is a foot long, which I think disqualifies it from being a tiny bird Pokemon. In fact, there is at least one bird Pokemon that's smaller than Spearow, Arucudi, which is a new Pokemon as of this most recent generation. Yeah, Arucudi is only 8 inches long.
Dang,
so they don't get much smaller than I will say they don't get much smaller than Spearow. But when you think about tiny birds in the world, birds in the world can get much smaller than a foot.
Hummingbird.
You said was what? What did you say?
A hummingbird?
A hummingbird. There's specifically one called a bee hummingbird. that I found. This is the smallest bird on planet Earth. It is 2 inches long.
What?
2 inches long. I saw a video of it from Nat Geo, and it's like next to a bee, and it looks like a bee's big brother.
That's amazing. What an amazing place we live in, where that's a weird little thing that exists, you know? So Pokemon is a lie.
This is the second time I've referenced this movie on this podcast. Have you seen the movie Boyhood?
Is that the one that was like filmed over 12
years? Yes. 12 years.
No, I have not.
Okay, there's a wonderful scene. It is rated R, and we're a family podcast. It's a rated R for language. But there's a wonderful scene where the boy asks his father, he's like, does magic exist? And the father describes how a whale's veins are so big that an adult man could swim through them. And he's like, isn't that kind of magic? And the son's like, yeah, but like, do like elves exist? And I do think of that, like, I think of just the world, like, it is so interesting. Like, a bee hummingbird in some ways is more magical than any Pokemon. But it's not Arceus. So, you know, like, it doesn't satisfy a child's imagination. Yeah. But whatever.
Kids, if you're listening to this right now, we didn't want you to just think about how amazing the world is, okay? That when Pokemon says, this is a tiny bird Pokemon, I mean, it's a foot tall. I mean, that's huge. You know what we believe in the real world? A really tiny bird. And that thing's 2 inches big, and it's a little piece of nothing.
That's how you start the other services at your church, right?
Kids, you know how you like that thing? Like Fortnite? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about the real world. It's nothing like that.
Kids love that, by the way, when you say, let me tell you about the real world.
Oh, my gosh. Kids love that.
Well, Zach, Pidgey and Spearow, I kind of think are rivals. We're talking about Spearow today, but there's the 2 Gen 1 little birds, and Pidgey's the other one. And I kind of think they kind of sit next to each other. And Pidgey, I think, I hope I'm not talking class out of school, but I think a lot of people prefer Pidgey to Spearow. And I wanted us to really settle down and compare the two.
Okay.
Ash, and I don't know if you remember this, in the very first episode of Pokemon, Ash throws a rock, much like Zach did recently, threw a rock at a Spearow, which is what caused Pikachu to get injured, have to use a big electric move, and was kind of the catalyst for their relationship it's the very first episode of the anime. Wow. But he only did so because he thought it was a docile, a more relaxed Pidgey, but it was a Spearow.
Wait, so he threw a rock. He threw a rock because he thought it wouldn't care?
I think I don't know. I don't know why Ash was throwing rocks at Pokemon. As you know, I morally disagree with that. I think Ash is a terrible person.
Get it.
And
you
not
don't
a
have
role
to have
model.
a super great reason for me. I mean, you kind of felt like it, whatever.
Do
but
you
I
like
just
that he
know.
threw the rock at the Pokemon?
It could be for any reason, honestly. I'm like, I get it. Yeah, like you just want to see what would happen to this little.
Zach, you want to hear the theme song again? Like them, subscribe them. All right, we got to head into this segment. Spearow versus Pidgey. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a Pokedex entry, and Zach, I want you to tell me if this is Spearow or Pidgey.
Okay, got it.
I got 5 of these. Okay, so you got one. I get at least 3 to win.
Nope, I'm gonna get 5 out of 5. So
all right, wonderful. Let's hear it. Yeah. Number 1, eats bugs in grassy areas. It has to flap its short wings at high speed to stay airborne. Spearow or Pidgey?
Man,
eats bugs in grassy areas. It has to flap its short wings at high speed to stay airborne.
Oh, well, here's the thing. That sounds like something cute happening. And when I think of Pidgey, I think cute. When I think Spearow, he's like a little jerk. You know, he's like that. But I just found out he's the tiny bird Pokemon. So if he's tiny, he's got tiny wings. So now I'm double confused, and I'm not going to get the 5 out of 5. I'm going to go with my original gut, and I'm going to say Pidgey.
You're wrong. It is Spearow.
Because he's tiny.
It was interesting. Zach was doing some Oscar-worthy performance there. You could see the thinking behind his eyes there. But yeah, Spearow, he's tiny, and he has short little stubby wings. This that was from Red and Blue. This next one, to protect its territory, it flies around ceaselessly, making high-pitched cries. Flies around ceaselessly, making high-pitched cries.
It's got to be a Pidgey. It's got to be Pidgey.
Spearow.
Oh, man, am I going to get 0 on this? I'm going to get 0.
You need to get every single one right after this, by the way, if you want to get a winning score.
Thank you for
Zach
helping
is
me
making
do
faces at
simple
me.
math.
He's mocking me for the listener. That's from Crystal, that description of Spearow. This one.
Fine.
A common sight in forests and woods. It flaps its wings around at ground level to kick up blinding sand. A common sight in forests and woods. It flaps its wings around at ground level to kick up blinding sand.
I mean, all I can think of is that's one of the like annoying moves that you would get with like Pidgey or Pidgeotto and stuff is like the blinding move, which I never did.
I'm stone facing you now. I don't want you to read my face.
Alex is not helping me at all. Listeners, if you want to know, that's why I'm just trying to talk through this. Just waiting for my call a friend. Pidgey.
You got it. Okay, you got your first one there. That is a Pidgey. That's from Red and Blue. I thought the big giveaway there, a common sight in Forest and Woods. Pidgey's a very popular one. Shows up a bunch.
Yeah, fine. Whatever. Speak down to me. Speak down to me for my.
This is the last episode of this podcast.
You know what? We already get it. You're the expert. I'm the nobody. It's fine.
All right, here's another one. We got two more, buddy. And you're my buddy.
Yeah, whatever.
It usually hides in tall grass. Because it dislikes fighting, it protects itself by kicking up sand.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say it's Spearow.
That's Pidgey.
No,
that's
when he kicks it up, why is he kicking it up there and he's heading up with his wings everywhere else?
You just read in the last one. I was trying to give you an easy one. You just read in the last Pokédex entry that Pidgey kicks up blinding sand, and this one kicks up sand.
When it kicks it up was with his wings.
Okay, but here's the thing. I wanna give you this.
The last
though.
one, so I can finally lose completely.
I'll get to it in just a moment. Gold. This is from Gold. That description of Pidgey. It says it dislikes fighting. At the end, I want us to pick which one we think is kind of a little superior, because this is round one of Spearow vs. Pidgey. We'll come back to it when we get to our Pidgey episode. Fine. Maybe we'll keep it going with Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, and Fearow. But this is Spearow V Pidgey, Dawn of Jangmo-O, round one. Mm-hmm. We'll keep coming back to this, okay? But we learned that Pidgey dislikes fighting. We learned that it likes to kick up sand. We learned that Spearow likes to eat bugs and make we're lots of stuff. Here's the last one I got. It has a very loud cry that can be heard over a half a mile. If it's high, keening cry is heard echoing all around. It is a sign that they are warning each other of danger. It has a cry that is so loud it reaches up to over a half a mile. And it's a warning to other of this Pokemon of danger. Spearow or Pidgey?
Well, you told me that Pidgey hates fighting already. But also I feel like I'm starting to believe that Spearow is the cooler of the birds. And that's a cool thing. Oh, is it Pidgey? Pidgey's my guess.
It's Spearow.
Zach,
you went 1 for 5.
This is the worst. This is proven in this episode. It took this many episodes to prove how little that I know or understand. This was it.
You spent those $100 on Pokemon cards for nothing, Zach.
It's demoralizing. Well, I wasn't a big flying bird Pokemon.
You know what,
fan,
Zach? Okay? I don't want you to feel demoralized. I think this is the first time that you've gotten a less than half for the game. So, I mean, you're very good at these games normally.
I'm very good at guessing, I guess, normally. Okay. But here's
fine.
the deal.
That's
here's the deal.
Skill.
Every time in the game that I wanted to fly, I just use my Charizard because I'm a grown up and grown ups fly on dragons. Okay.
Not a dragon type.
Well, I mean, they are later or whatever. Like 3 games later, he gets to be dragon flying at some point, doesn't he? Or no, he's fire flying.
I think when he mega evolves, I think one of his mega evolutions is dragon.
At some point, he's a dragon because he clearly is. Okay. End of story. I failed. I get it.
Well, okay, Zach, I want to close this segment out. Which Pokemon, as of right now, as of round 1 of Spearow v Pidgey, Dawn of Jangmo-O, which Pokemon reigns supreme for you?
It's super easy. It's Spearow.
Yeah, I agree.
Because way cooler.
I went on a Reddit thread. I was actually initially thinking of reading people's kind of arguments on the Reddit thread. But then when I read these Pokedex entries, I was like, there's no contest right now. Spearow is willing to get into battle, makes a cool, loud cry. Pidgey doesn't even like to fight. If you have 2 kids, Zach, you have 2 children.
Yeah.
If one of your kids likes to fight, the other one doesn't like to fight, the one that likes to fight's your favorite, right?
Well, I mean, am I making money off these fights? So what's happening? That's like MMA fights they're entering in, or
Zach,
they're fighting
in this
me?
In this episode, we've revealed that you work for a church and also that your morals, you're completely willing to make money off of your own children fighting. You like when any
MMA.
animal has a rock thrown at it.
No, any Pokemon. Just so
Any
we're
Pokemon.
clear.
I'm so sorry. You are correct. That is correct.
I don't throw rocks at animals unless it's like a lizard. It's just, why are you doing in my backyard, lizard? Get out of here.
Zach, I want to go to a segment we've done once before. I'm going to describe it since we haven't done it so often. Pokemon Producer. Do you remember this one, Zach?
Oh yeah, how are we going to sell the Pokemon, right?
Yeah, you are a Pokemon producer. You produce Pokemon stuff. Your boss Junichi Masuda comes in and tells you that they want every Pokemon to be a star, and you've been placed on the project starring Spearow. It could be a game or a show or a movie, or heck, if you want, you can make a Spearow album. But you want that project to be profitable, or Zach, as our president would say, you're fired.
Yeah, no, that's easy.
You're fired.
This show is just me doing
bad accents.
That could be the worst Donald Trump that I've ever heard. But I appreciated it. It was clear that who you were being. And I'm ready for it. Actually, I already have my idea.
Hit me. I don't have one, so go.
Okay. Well, previously to what I said, and then you yelled at me about trying to make money off of my children fighting. I do think that that's a really profitable arena. Obviously, Pokemon are fighting each other. But what if we, sir, as I'm standing in your office right now, what if we start having Spearow? I mean, the dude loves to fight. We all know that. What if we start putting him in other matches? You know, we start working him up the UFC fight ring. I mean, which one of those guys are really going to be able to take him out? Because he flies up in a circle. He's screeching. That doofus down there that wanted to fight him, he falls on the ground. His ears are bleeding. And then, bam, that's when Spearow jumps on him, starts scratching him with his little claws, and then KO. That's round 1. We start moving him up, and before you know it, the next cover of UFC Fight Night Tonight has got Spearow on it, and that's money in our pockets. People are buying little figures off the shelves, and then we get residuals every time someone places him in some UFC game. So you're welcome, sir. That's called, the title of my pitch is Fight Night Spearow Ultimate UFC Fighter Spearow.
Yeah, I think you nailed all of it, but the name.
That's fine. I'll work on that. It's fine.
Hey, you're good. You're just a pitch, just an elevator pitch with Junichi Masuda. I'm going to go with a different route. Okay. We mentioned in the Pokedex description that Spearow likes to eat bugs. And I thought of, he likes to eat bugs.
He's a bird, so it's not that crazy.
Not that crazy, but we don't hear too much about Pokemon eating other Pokemon. There's even later Pokedex descriptions that are straight up like, he eats bug type Pokemon.
Oh, wow. So he's eating his Caterpies.
So I want to make a Food Network show starring Professor Spearow. And he goes out. It's very much like Anthony Bourdain style, no reservations or something. Yeah. And it's just him traveling the world. And he goes to different regions and he tries their local bug delicacies. He tries the Charger bug. He tries the Caterpie. And he talks about how wild and interesting this area is. And let's see. So if it's a Pokemon version of no reservations, of Without Borders, that kind of show, I'm going to call it the Pokemon Food Show.
Dude, because we both title is just genius. I think that's way better than my Spearow Fight Night UFC Spearow Ultimate Fighter.
You did get Spearow in yours, so it's a little more clear than mine.
Yeah, but for real though, I actually really like yours. I like yours more because that's it's trying to show a different side of him. Everyone knows him, that he's the real fighter out of the baby tiny birds. But they're saying, hey, this guy, he knows his food, but he'd be kind of like, a little angry. He's got that spiky hair all the time. So it'd be a fun host, He's always making like asides to the camera, looking over and be like, "Can you believe this bug? Am I right?" But also this world he can't
raises
talk.
his eyebrows.
Yeah, I want this world that also he cannot speak, so it's still just like bird.
He's still just making Pokemon noises.
Yeah,
Spearow. Honestly, I would love that if we have any. My final project for our fans. If you're a fan, please like take an episode of some Anthony Bourdain or some travel cooking show and just replace everything the host says with Pokemon noises.
Yes.
That'd be hilarious. I'd be so into that. Some like local guys like this local delicacy here in Brazil is known as Spearow. Spearow's just like interrupting.
Yeah. Thank you.
Zach, it's time for the Pokeball Decision.
Yeah.
Pokeball Decision is a segment where we decide what kind of Pokeball would he use to catch this Spearow. We're not taking into consideration rarity. We're just taking into consideration how badly we want this Pokemon. Do we want it Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, Master Ball? We also have the options to flee and throw a rock at the Spearow. I know, Zach, you may be tempted to throw a rock because Ash Ketchum threw a rock at a Spearow famously.
Yeah.
But let's not become known as the rock throwing podcast, okay? I don't want people knowing us for our rock throwing.
Yeah, that's a different podcast. It's a very negative podcast. So here's the deal. If you would have asked me before this podcast, before I learned a lot from you, the expert, this is my sensei, my Pokemon sensei.
Thank you.
I would have probably thrown a rock at him. In my small mindedness, just throw a rock because he looks so angry. And I already thought that I like Pidgey, and he becomes.
You saw
Pidgeot.
Ash do it. You want to do it to be cool, to be a part of the popular crew.
I'm just following the cool kids, and who's cooler than Ash? Nobody. So I would have done that. But here's the deal: after really thinking about it, and if you put a gun to my head and said I have to have a flying type bird Pokemon, I'm going with him. I want him, and he's a little more rare. There's not as many of him as Pidgeys are around.
I'm not taking into consideration rarity, just how much you want it, but yeah.
This is my process of why I want it. Okay,
fine. Okay, I'm just listening to your brain go. Keep going.
Goodness, okay. So here's the deal. I am throwing a Ultra Ball.
Whoa, that's a huge pick. I didn't expect that. And you know what, Zach, I like Spearow. I'm with you. I like him against a Pidgey for sure. I think he's a little more interesting. I like that. And I will say, anytime you come down to Pokemon, you can kind of split them into two categories. The Pokemon that want to fight, the Pokemon that don't want to fight. Whenever there's a Pokemon that doesn't want to fight, like a Pidgey, why do I want that Pokemon? I'm just making him fight against his will. That's me being like the guy at the circus who has the whip, who's whipping the elephant. And they're like, dance, elephant, dance.
Yeah, you're
and
the
like
bad
the people
guy.
that guy has a movie made about him later in life where like you just learn what a scumbag he is. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be Mr. Nice Guy. I want to be
the guy that starts the circus full of people that had no friends and they were weird looking, but you gave them a job.
And I'm a delightful circus runner, not a malicious one.
Yeah, you're not the guy whipping the animals. You're the guy that's like, hey, person that's growing hair all over their body. Congratulations. You were a freak before. I'm going to give you $10 a week. So I like that. I like where you're going, and I know that's exactly what you were meaning. So that's
Zach, the only person I describe as a freak is myself, and only about Pokemon. I'm gonna go Great Ball. I think it's a great little Pokemon. I think it doesn't earn the title of tiny bird Pokemon, but I like its viciousness. I like its ferocity. I like the fact that the Pokédex mentions that it eats other Pokemon, just introducing more and more of a world that we must reckon with, which I like. So you said went Ultra Ball, I went Great Ball, but we're going to toss those considerations out the window because that doesn't decide what their power is.
Yep.
And this is the Pokemon Power Ranking, the second to last outside of our closing segment of the show, the segment that we've named our show after. Here's the list so far. 7th place is Slowpoke, 6 is Jigglypuff, 5 Cubone, 4 Victory Bell, 3 Kangaskhan, 2 Primeape, 1 Snorlax. Zach, I think I know exactly where I want to put it.
What are the bottom 3 again?
Slowpoke is bottom, who, by the way, never once fought in the anime. Jigglypuff is second to the bottom. A big bully who will draw on your face while you're sleeping.
I knew you were going to say bully, and it's fine.
And Cubone, who is not weak.
Yeah.
He'll throw the bone at you, the lonely bone, as the trading card game describes it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Spearow should go right underneath Cubone.
Yeah, I was going to say, right. I mean, if I could, I would almost place them the same, because I think it would be really a toss up of who in their scrappy, tiny anger really won out the day. But I do think that Cubone, if we're talking in just he has a bone, so that's helpful to beat up that little bird with.
Yes.
But if we're talking in the game, I even think the moveset of Cubone is a bit more extensive than just like flying type. But I do think that he's definitely better than the lazy Slowpoke. And it's fine. I guess for the people that think that Jigglypuff is a bully. If Jigglypuff is your favorite Pokemon, I'm really sorry for Alex's view. I'm not as anti Jigglypuff as Alex is.
I'm not anti Jigglypuff. I'm trying to relate my own personal experiences with bullies. And I will say that this is an anti-bullying podcast, Zach.
Yeah, we're absolutely. Pro Pokemon, pro all Pokemon, wherever you're at in the power ranking, we love you.
Wherever you're at in the power ranking, we love you. We're anti-bullying, but pro Pokemon. Zach, you dog. You want to close out? What you have anything you want to say at the end here?
I just want to say, in reference to if you're a person that's growing hair all over their body with the whatever that werewolf type disease is.
What?
Because I said
werewolf type disease.
I can't think of what it's called. Okay, it's in my head. It's like
Robin Williams disorder.
It's the thing. I keep thinking of like the opposite, which is like alopecia, is like when you lose all your hair, right? Anyway, whatever the opposite of that is, I said in passing a few moments ago that you'd be a freak. I was only thinking in the context of that one Greatest Showman movie that came out, and it was like, you're gathering the freaks. But I don't think that about you, and I care about you. And as a person myself who's overly hairy, I care about you, and I would choose you. I just want you to know that, just in case you were listening and we isolated that listener or follower or subscriber, and you said, Zach is such a jerk. I want you to know that I apologize. And I don't want to have to apologize in the next episode. So I'm just pre-apologizing segment. So actually, I'm going to start apologizing at the end of every episode. And then you can apologize at the beginning of the next episode. We'll really cover it. Beginning and end apologies.
Really screwing up our segments. Good job. I'll echo Zach. And I'll say this. Look, in The Greatest Showman, a hairy man would be a freak. But in a much better Hugh Jackman movie, the hairy man was the superhero, Wolverine. So if you're hairy, we don't think you're a freak. We think you're a superhero, much like Cubat. We think that you're an all-star. As always, the Pokemon Power Podcast would like to thank bulbapedia.bulbagarden.net, cerebi.org, and Dr. Lava YT. If you'd like to learn more about Pokemon, those would be a great resource for you. If you'd like to ask us a question about next week's Pokemon, submit a game, or just keep up with the podcast, you can find us on most social media platforms at PokePowPod. POKEPOWPOD. If you're watching this on YouTube, we would once again, I know we're changing this up, but I'll just give our closing like and subscribe one more time. We would ask that you like and subscribe, as that helps our channel grow. And if you're listening to the podcast, please subscribe via your podcasting app. Once again, that's very helpful to help us grow as a podcast. And we'd like to say, whether you're hairy, whether you're lumpy, whatever you're like, if you were a Pokemon, we'd choose you. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Goodbye.